Hello, I'm Mark Hall-Patton. I want to welcome you to the Clark County Museum. Today we're going to take a look at the Esslinger Barn. The Esslinger Barn is one of the many structures we have here at the museum that are restored and open for you to tour through and see when you come out here. In this case, the Esslinger Barn was actually built in town near the corner of Charleston and Lindell in 1955. Helene and Alan Esslinger actually homesteaded 5 acres there. And then as money became available, they began building this barn. But this was a large structure that they were able to work inside of, but they built it to look like a typical barn. This became quite a landmark in that part of town. And in 2002, when the barn was faced with demolition, we moved it out here to the museum, restored it, and opened it to the public. The Esslinger family had horses. Karen Esslinger was a well-known horsewoman here. So we have a horse outside. This is actually a fiberglass horse, but it is an area that you would have had. You would have had a small pen area that you could have kept the horse. You have a watering trough here, which is just an old bathtub. You can see the water pump right here. No, it's not hooked up, so you can't get water out of it, but it would have been. Also, you would have had a feed area over here, so that you could drop hay or oats, whatever you were feeding your horse in there. The horse could eat for a while, and then you could let it out and run and give it a wider area. You wouldn't want to leave a horse in a small pen like this for any great length of time. It wouldn't have been good for the horse, but just for feeding, and that gives people an idea of what they would have seen here when the barn was in use on the Esslinger family's property. I want to take you inside and show you some of the things we have that you can see when you come out here. The Esslingers moved into their property in the early 1950s and, as I said, started building up out there. The family was always into horses, and their daughter, Karen Esslinger, who helped donate the barn to the museum, was quite a well-known horsewoman here. Now, in addition to talking about the family, we have a number of artifacts that you can see. We have a 1900 hose cart. This is the type of cart that you would have used when the fire department was being called and you had to run the hose out to the site of a fire. Now, obviously, in this case, this is a hand cart where you would hold down to the front and actually draw it along using human power to get it to the site. So you wouldn't want to be too far away from where the fires were. But the town was very small at that point. And so in the early 1900s, this was actually an effective way of fighting fires. One of the other things we have here is this 1909 Sears automobile. Yes, it is from Sears, and this was actually in use up until about 15 years ago. Now, as you walk around in the barn, you'll see that we have a number of things that are not really indoor material. This is a barn. This is the kind of items that you would have stored in the barn. So we have some restored motorcycles that have been given to the museum, a grinding wheel if you were going to be working on sharpening some tools or your knife, a one-man plow there, some other buggies in the museum collection. These are all the sorts of things that a barn would have been used for. One of the things we had here and out in the Mesquite Valley area were a number of dairies. You can see that we've got examples from the Anderson Dairy and a number of other ones. And these were very active businesses here. It was necessary to have dairies close into larger cities because you weren't going to be shipping milk across the country and that as we can today. So this is all a part of the history of the Vegas Valley. Well, that's the Esslinger Barn here at the County Museum. We hope you'll come down and visit us. Remember, we're open 9 to 4:30, 7 days a week, and it's only $2 a head. We are the best bargain in the Vegas Valley, and we invite you to come on down and see us.